Hi, I'm Greg Stoller. I'm excited to be leading the 2015 International Management Experience trip to Asia. Instead of doing this in person, we've decided to do it via video. However, I would encourage you to contact me if you have questions. The first way you can do that is via email. My Boston College email is gregory.stoller.1@bc.edu. That's gregory.1@bc.edu. And the other way is through my blog. That's bclob.com. BC as in best companies, LOB as in language of business. Put all together, bclob.com. In short, this is meant to be about a 10 or 15 minute presentation, but please, I genuinely want to hear from you. I'd love to answer your questions, but most importantly, I'd love to have you sign up for the field study, for the course, and have you join us in Asia in 2015. Before I get into the guts of the experience, let me describe to you what an international management experience or international consulting project is meant to be, then tell you what the grading criteria, the academic criteria are, and then what I'd like to do is go through each of the 5 cities that we're going to be visiting, and really tell you the sorts of companies that you might expect to interact with, etc. So first, what is an IME or an ICP, IME being the International Management Experience, and ICP being an International Consulting Project? Well, for one, it's an opportunity for you to get out into the field and apply what you're learning from the classroom environment directly with the executives themselves. For all the IMEs that I run, we try and deal with senior people. Some of them are going to be managers, some of them are going to be directors or vice presidents, and many of them are actually going to be C-level executives themselves, CEO, CFO, or COO, etc. Depending on the experience, and for IME Asia, I try and make this as diverse as possible. We're going to be taking some plant tours. We're going to be meeting in offices. We might be meeting in a conference room. We might be meeting at a hotel. But one way or another, we're going to be meeting with the executives directly. This year for IME Asia, we have 5 cities that we're going to be going to. The first is going to be Tokyo. Then we're going to Shanghai, Seoul, South Korea, Shenzhen in southern China, and then Hong Kong itself. So what does an IME look like from an administrative standpoint? Well, for one, we don't just want you to show up and say, wow, isn't this exciting? I'm excited to be here. We want you to do a little bit of preparation. So as a result, I've scheduled 7 one-hour prep sessions throughout the spring semester, and we're going to divide our entire team into either pairs or individually. We're roughly going to be visiting one way or another between 15 and 20 somethings. Something could be a Boston College alumni event. It could be a traditional company visit. It could be a dinner that's possibly hosted by one of our BC affiliates, or an alumnus or alumna in the field, and one way or another, I want you to be prepared. So in these prep sessions, we will review all 15 to 20 of these companies. I'm going to be giving you a little bit of cultural overviews at the end of each session, and then there's going to be a short quiz so that you can prepare before you actually get on a plane and go with us to Asia. While in Asia, the learning will continue. We'll be having daily briefings on the bus, on our way or on the train, on the way to each of the companies to remind our team what might have changed since the date of the prep sessions on campus to where we are in the present day. And then after you get back, I'm going to ask you to hand 3 items in to me. The first is going to be a paper on either a company or a theme or a topic of your choice. Many of these themes could be, I went to Asia thinking that company X would be one thing. Now that I've experienced company X in person, I've actually decided it's going to be something else, or realized it's going to be something else. It could be an economic analysis, it could be a cultural analysis, it could even be a discussion of the food, etc. But it should be a good, solid 5 to 10 page paper, single-spaced, with a number of research quality sources. The second document is I genuinely want to hear your feedback in terms of all 15 to 20 companies or individuals that we visited. In fact, many of your predecessors' feedback have made IME Asia into what it is today. So please be honest on that survey. And finally, I'm going to ask you to keep a daily journal while we're on the road, really so that 2 weeks later, a month later, dare say half a year, a year later, it doesn't all get mashed together in your head. The idea being that you can remember the highs, maybe some of the more challenging experiences, but certainly your classmates' experiences, the companies that we visited, and IME Asia as a whole, etc. So as I said, throughout the spring semester, as you see on the screen, we're going to be visiting with each other and getting to know each other 7 different times over the course of the semester. The first location is going to be Tokyo. When you fly to Asia from the United States, you leave on day 1 and you actually arrive on the afternoon or the evening of day number 2. So we're going to be leaving Boston on most likely May 9th. I say most likely because, as I said at the beginning, the travel dates, the exact companies we're going to be visiting, as well as the order and the costs are still a work in progress, although I would safely say that they're 95% confirmed. But rightfully right now, we're going to be leaving Boston on May 9th and arriving in the afternoon on May 10th in Tokyo. We're going to hit the ground running on Monday morning. We've got 2 company visits in Rakuten. That's going to be Japanese for optimistic. And then Higa Industries. Ernie Higa is originally from Hawaii and went to Japan and has invested in a number of companies successfully. Most recently, Wendy's, the hamburger chain. He has done incredibly well with that company, bringing it to Japan, etc. And then that evening, we're going to be asking you to attend a Boston College alumni event. In 4 of the 5 cities that we're visiting this year, we're going to be holding alumni events. These are optional but recommended. It's an opportunity for you to interact with not only MBA alums, either from our full-time or evening program, but either MSF, Master of Science in Finance, MSA in Accounting, or even Boston College Law alums that might be living or working in the region, etc. The next day, we are going to be doing a Nissan factory tour in their automotive facilities. And although every single one of the companies I'm presenting has confirmed in principle, there are a couple of open items at this point. One of them is going to be either a TV network or a telephony company that we're hoping to visit as our 4th firm in Tokyo. That is still up in the air, but hopefully by the time we get you enrolled, etc., we'll be well on its way to confirming that as well. I also think it's important to mention, as you're noticing the slides that are going along with my overview, we've scheduled a number of free nights as well as opportunities for sightseeing. Yes, this is a 3-credit class. Yes, this is meant to be an academic experience, but let's face it, you're going halfway across the world. So as a result, we want you to have some fun, and in many cases, we want this to be scheduled fun. So we've intentionally scheduled into the itinerary either group sightseeing or individual sightseeing, but in addition to that, free nights along the way. So as you're looking at the Tokyo schedule, you'll notice some free nights are there. You'll have the opportunity to a free morning for sightseeing, and then we'll fly to Seoul in the evening. We will arrive to Seoul, and most of the days that we travel, we have a free day or a free night to let everybody get unpacked and really sort of customize the experience by having you get the opportunity to look at that country's itinerary over dinner or over a quick drink and sort of chart how you would like to make it special for you, etc. But again, the focus here is going to be on the companies themselves. We're going to be visiting with Framingham-based IDC or IDG, International Data Corporation, and then CKD, which is a Korean pharmaceutical company. The next day, we're going to be going to the demilitarized zone. This is the area between North and South Korea. And on that third night, I should say, that we're going to be in Seoul, we'll have the opportunity to have a Boston College alumni event as well. So again, looking at the itinerary, you'll notice that there's a model. The first day is travel. The next couple days are company visits, and then either sightseeing or free night thrown in there as well. And then we will get back on the plane and travel to Shanghai. That's the picture of the Shanghai bun that you see in the slides. We'll arrive in Shanghai in the early afternoon and give you the opportunity to relax, etc. The next day is going to be a Sunday, so we've scheduled some sightseeing in the morning, but intentionally have scheduled the next day or the next afternoon to be open as well. We will then, on Monday, go to 2 company visits, Chindex Pharmaceuticals. They are a company that officially is domiciled in Maryland. But they were started by 2 American women, Elise Silverberg and Roberta Lipson, who went to China in the late 1970s, early 1980s. This is the true definition of the term trailblazer. They started originally as a medical import company. They also were in the cosmetics business for a while, but along the way they started what is now a chain of for-profit hospitals. catering to either well-to-do mainland Chinese or expats as well. They've been phenomenally successful in their venture. Next along the way is going to be PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and that night we're going to have a BC alumni event, etc. The next day we're going to be visiting with PepsiCo. That is obviously the drink and food company, etc. And we have an afternoon flight to Shenzhen. This is going to be in southern China. We will overnight in Shenzhen and then visit another type of factory. This is of course going to be a little bit different than Nissan. This is called Namwa. They do watch covers and watch casings for a very famous U.S. Retailer of watches that we will disclose later on. We'll have the opportunity to do at least one company tour visit in southern China, in Namwa. Depending on what the travel itinerary looks like, we might be able to sneak in a second one, but I really want you to have the opportunity to not only look at China as defined as the big cities, the Beijings, the Shanghais, the Xi'ans of the world, but also get the opportunity to look in southern China as well, which we're going to be doing through Shenzhen. And then we'll take the ferry and we will actually come back to Hong Kong that night. That, of course, is going to be a free evening. The next day, we were going to get an economic briefing on Hong Kong, which is the one country, two systems model. We're then going to be visiting with a BC alumnus, Kevin Lam, at Citibank, and that night, hopefully at the China Club, courtesy of one of our other BC alums, we'll have hopefully a very nice alumni dinner and mixer overlooking many of the very picturesque buildings in Hong Kong. The next day we're going to be doing Victoria Peak sightseeing, free afternoon and night, and then we will return to the United States in the morning. So as I said, tentatively, and I've been fortunate to be doing this for well over a decade, as I said, there might be a couple of changes in the actual dates and the actual costs. But right now, we are feeling pretty confident that we are leaving Boston on May 9th and arriving back in Boston on May 23rd, 2015. So again, we're leaving on the 9th, arriving in Tokyo on the 10th, but we will be back in Boston on most likely the evening of May 23rd. The costs are still going to be worked out, but as of right now, we are projecting this to be approximately $11,600, etc. That includes 3 credits of BC tuition, in addition to the travel fee. This is going to be billed to you as a lab fee through your student services account. By the way, both the course's tuition as well as the lab fee, the travel portion of the course, are applicable, or eligible I should say, for financial aid. And let me tell you what's covered and what is not covered. What is covered is all airfare, accommodations in 3 to 4 star hotels, and we cover breakfast every day. Depending on where we're going, some of the companies might throw in lunch, some of the companies might cater a dinner along the way, but officially what is covered is going to be the airfare, the hotels, and breakfast. Occupancy is going to be double occupancy unless we have an odd number of men or women on the trip, in which case we'll randomly draw a single. And in my opinion, I think this is a wonderful investment in your career. I've been very lucky over the years to be able to run a number of these international programs at the Carroll School, whether they be an IME in Asia or an ICP in Beijing. And we've had several students that have either opted after they've graduated or a few years later to return to Asia, either as interns or as full-time employees, or they have remained in the United States or their country of origin, but have become Asian specialists along the way. So believe me, I'm not closing my eyes and being blind to the fact that $11,000, $12,000 is a lot of money, even inclusive of 3 credits of graduate school tuition, but I really believe that this is going to be an excellent investment in your future career. Unfortunately, by the way, no itinerary changes are possible. You have to go with the entire group, please, from start to finish, the May 9th to May 23rd, and we also ask that, well, you're welcome to use either cash or frequent flyer miles. To upgrade, everybody has to officially buy an economy ticket. So you're welcome, as I said, if you want to upgrade to business or first class, to do that on your own, but you won't be getting any credit from the university. Everybody has to buy a full fare economy ticket, just to be fair to everybody. And also, all of your documents must be intact. meaning you have to have a valid passport, which is going to be valid up to 6 months after the date of travel. We will include visas to get into the countries that we need visas for. So for example, if you are a U.S. student, your tuition for the trip will be covered in terms of entry visas. But if you're a non-American student, we ask that you, at your own expense, please look into whatever additional visas might be required for you to go to cities 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, etc. Just a little bit about me. My interests here at the school are in international business and entrepreneurship. I run a real estate holding company full-time, but I've been very, very lucky and fortunate to be on the Boston College faculty for over 14 years now. As I mentioned, I teach a number of courses, both experiential learning courses as well as classroom courses in the areas of entrepreneurship and international business. After graduating from college, I lived and worked in Japan for 3 years. I then came back to the States and ended up, after graduating from business school, working for a high-tech company in charge of Asia Pacific and Latin American marketing. I then went on to a startup, and concurrent with my desire to experiment with teaching, I started my current company now. I've also considered myself, my hobby, to be a foreign language buff. So I speak, read, and write, amongst other languages, but might be applicable to our time in Asia: Japanese, Mandarin Chinese, Cantonese, and Korean, etc. And as I mentioned that you see from the screen, I've been excited and lucky enough to be leading these experiences since 2002. So where can you get more additional information? If you have administrative questions in terms of financial aid, how anything is going to be billed to your student account, please email or call Mary Ellen Jordan, who is the Director of MBA Operations here at the Carroll School. Her phone number is 617-552-2327, and her email is on the screen. For anything having to do with the field study, the administrative portion of the class, i.e. the prep sessions, etc., you're welcome to get in touch with me. Once again, gregory.stoller.1@bc.edu, or my blog, bclob.com. What we'll most likely have you do is submit a portion of your application to Mary Ellen's office directly, as well as a non-refundable deposit check. And then along the way, either Mary Ellen's office or my office are going to ask you for a number of associated documents to officially enroll you into the course, such as an application, indemnification waiver, a copy of your passport scanned, and any other relevant items that we might need, passport photos, etc. So once again, thank you for your attention. I look forward to working with you. I hope that you would consider enrolling in IME Asia 2015. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd like to believe that all of us, Mary Ellen, myself, and her team, are only an email click away. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in January for our first prep session. Thank you very much.